So I chose to do my project over Girl with a Pearl Earring. When it was here in the US a few years ago, I went and saw it and I absolutely loved it. When I saw it in person, I was completely mesmerized and I stood there for 30 to 45 minutes just taking it all in and taking in every single detail, and I vividly have that still in my mind. I still went back and referred to paintings and I took notes. So what is really interesting about this painting is how Vermeer uses light. What's really interesting about this one is he really emphasizes the light on the face. So when you look at it, there's this bright light coming from about, like if I was her, coming from about here, just coming straight down on her face, and so it really highlights actually the side of her face that is not facing us. And so when he does that, it really creates a contrast of light and the shadow, because the shadow is on our side and not on the side away from us. There's a lot of play of light in her eyes themselves. If you look at them, there's a highlight and it really makes her eyes pop. And it really draws the gaze into her eyes. And her mouth is partially open. There's a lot of detail in the face. You can see her teeth. There's just a lot of detail going on in the face. So for me personally, after the face, my eye kind of goes towards the blue headband. I think because it is the next piece, in my opinion, that has the most amount of light on it, direct light hitting it, and the color contrasts the rest of the painting so much. It's this really bright, like ultramarine blue, while the rest of it is kind of like yellows and browns. So it kind of brings this richness and elegance more to the painting. The color itself is kind of refreshing. Then my eye goes to the amazing pearl earring, after which the painting is named. And it's very realistic. There's a lot of reflection going on in the earring itself. There's first the spotlight from the light hitting the earring, and then there's kind of that shadow where the pearl would be curving. But then you also get the reflection from the collar shining back up onto the pearl. It really gives a sense of roundness to it. It gives the shape of the pearl itself. Now her dress, her tunic thing that she's wearing, in my opinion, just first looking at it, it seems kind of out of place because everything else is so delicate, and the clothes that she's wearing seem kind of heavy and big. But actually, as if you just kind of ignore how large it seems, because it fills in that space, it really gives a balance to the painting itself, because it just fills in more the bottom half of the painting. There's still a lot of detail to the tunic, but it's not super intricate details that we see like in her face. And one last thing about the painting is the background. The background is completely black. I know in a lot of other Vermeer paintings there are like interesting backgrounds where there's like a table and like a window. Windows are very commonly used in Vermeer paintings to give that light source, but in this particular painting we do not see that. We just see this black background. That creates even more contrast with the painting and really gives a sharp outline to the girl. and it really, really gives all of the emphasis and all of the value into the girl. So that's about all I have to say. I mean, there's definitely a lot more that can be said about this painting. It's really just an amazing, amazing painting.